Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, friends of education. It's my great pleasure to be here at this Future of Education Global Summit that is organized for the first time with this name in the collaboration with Eon Reality and NTU in Singapore. Welcome to all of you who have traveled a long way to this beautiful, beautiful tropical city that is a fairy tale in many ways. I have been the Finnish ambassador here now for 4 years, and already in the 90s I spent 4 years here as the deputy of the same embassy and visited the NTU in the 95, 96, and I can certainly tell that they have come a long way, an amazing way, and it's to congratulate all of you who have been part in building the NTU and making it one of the world's best and looked upon universities. Finland and Singapore share a great appreciation for education. We both understand that being a population of only 5.6 million, we both have the same population size. We have to help all citizens to use their talent and skills to the fullest throughout their life. Singapore places on the top in all international rankings, measuring the performance of basic education. And Singaporean universities are top-notch. The Singaporean parents and schools go all way in securing a successful future for their children through education. And the Ministry of Education works to renew and reform already a well-performing system. Much of this same is true for Finland. We also have gotten our share of the international education fame and likewise value education above all. Today I was asked to speak of the Finnish education through facts, myths and the future. As I think the latter is the most important and the topic of today, I will outline 3 facts, 1 myth, and then focus on our approaches to the future. First, the 3 facts of Finnish education. Number 1 is that equal opportunities for all is a guiding principle in Finnish education system. All people have equal access to high quality education and training, regardless of social and financial background. Of course, we do pay high taxes. Finns have access to free education throughout their lives, from pre-primary to higher education. We believe that people are the nation's most important asset, and our history proves this belief to be true. Education has enabled Finland to rise from one of the poorest countries in the world to become one of the world's wealthiest countries in the 100 years of our independence, which we celebrated in 2017. So we became independent in 1917 from Russia. Number 2 of the facts is that holistic, student-centered and inclusive are words that describe the Finnish school system. Holistic perspective on children's well-being is a key element in Finnish education. The main goal of the curriculum is to grow as a human being and as a citizen. We emphasize how to learn instead of what to learn. Curriculum implementation and the pedagogic procedures are left to be decided by the well-educated teachers, depending on what is best for each group of students. This also enables learner-centeredness. Competent teachers can recognize different types of talents and support individual learners. With the help of education technologies, different paces of learning can be supported in the same classroom. Our schools are also inclusive. Pupils with minor or medium learning difficulties go to same schools and classrooms as the others, but the schools are allocated additional resources. Special support and guidance is provided as soon as need arises. Some tutorial help is being given to the weakest ones as part of the school's curriculum. In case of extensive and permanent learning difficulties, an individual learning plan is drawn up. And number 3 of the facts is the focus in Finnish education system is on learning and development rather than testing or monitoring. There are no national standardized tests for pupils in basic education in Finland. One of our biggest strengths is the culture of trust, which is also the key to our assessment system. Teachers are responsible for assessment in their respective subjects based on the objectives included in the curriculum. We conduct sample-based studies, but not all education providers or schools nor all subjects are evaluated. And the sample-based studies come in place of national achievement tests. And we have found that quality assessments stress the importance of development rather than monitoring. Then the myth. Any guesses? The myth is that with the new curriculum in 2016, Finland ditched all traditional school subjects and the teaching of deep skills. This is not true. What we have done, however, is to increase the amount of multidisciplinary learning modules in the curriculum. Some people also call this phenomenon-based learning. Multidisciplinary learning modules are tools for integrating learning and increasing the dialogue between different subjects. With our new curriculum implemented from 2016 onwards, for the first time it is compulsory for the schools to organize one such module at least once every school year. However, the municipalities and schools have the freedom to plan the modules according to local needs and interests. Another myth is that this is something brand new in Finnish education, but actually multidisciplinary learning has been used, especially in the early years and the primary grades for decades already, as part of our approach to student-centered and age-appropriate education. Then, what does a future-ready education look like from the Finnish perspective? I'm happy to be one of the first speakers today, as I'm sure that everyone here will be stating the same following issues: the globalization, digitalization, robotics, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and all these other technological advances that have brought about a great transformation in work and the labor market. In this transition, the traditional links between growth, productivity, and well-being may be broken. This changes many of the key social structures, especially in Finland and the Nordic welfare states, including tax base and the customer base of the social security system. It is vital that we find ways to maintain and even increase the employment rate while safeguarding the sustainability of the society. Adaptation requires reforms throughout our education system. We need to analyze and discuss what are the future skills and needs, and what the proper and relevant educational contents and structures are. In terms of future education, we must think of at least 3 angles: the technology, future skills, and as we in Finland call them, transversal competencies, and equality. First, about the managing technological transformation. The advancement of technologies treats various types of tasks very differently, and the content of new professions and assignments is unknown. This puts a great demand on the anticipation of skills and training needs, as well as on the cooperation of those involved in the development of the education system. Finland is in a good position to make use of artificial intelligence and digitalization in a sustainable way for society and the environment. Our strengths lie in good learning outcomes, high education level, and the ability to rapidly apply new technologies. Finland is an engineering nation, as known for many. We also have good capacity for public sector collaboration, enterprise and research cooperation, and open-mindedness for science and technology, and evolving experimental culture and a broad commitment to knowledge-based growth and prosperity. We also have a good digital technologies and services that have already become a part of our education, as they already are in households and in kids' pockets. With right content, tools, and services, learning can become more fun, improve motivation, and also help different learners to achieve the learning objectives and even preferences. New technologies in education give access to new learning resources, as well as new flexible services that are needed in communication, information retrieval, edutainment, robotics, or coding, to name a few. However, it is important to see that new technologies need to be used only on a pedagogically meaningful way. To improve the quality of the digital education resources, the Finnish Ministry of Education is trying to provide the tech industry with opportunities, creating them the right circumstances so that they can develop innovative products and services. Perhaps the proper word here is that the government can also have its role and part in the digital ecosystem. Then about the future skills. So what kind of skills and competencies are needed in the future? We must note that human brain and learning capacity have not changed as fast as the world around us. There is need to create opportunities for continuous learning, not only in schools, but also in the workplace and in hobbies. We must learn faster and more flexibly. Learning to learn, being able to acquire new skills, and thinking critically and creatively are some of the key factors for the education of tomorrow. The OECD, EU think tanks, and education professionals have tried to specify the key knowledge and skills of the future. They remind us of the need to maintain and enhance the traditional basic skills, such as reading and mathematics, analytical decision-making, acquisition and management of information, critical thinking, creative problem-solving, business skills, and emotional cooperation and communication skills are considered even more important than before. In a simpler way, we talk about 4C basic skills: communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. In Finland, the recent curriculum reform has meant a transformation from what to learn to how to learn, as I said earlier. As I mentioned in the beginning, multidisciplinary learning modules integrate skills and knowledge of various school subjects. Goals and objectives, core contents, and criteria for evaluation are given in the national core curriculum. At the local level, teachers work together, pupils participate in the planning of the ways of working and how the individual goals are being set. In addition, one of the key aims in the curriculum reform have been developing schools as learning communities and emphasizing the joy of learning. In 2018, we reformed our vocational education and training system so that it is ready to meet the future needs of changing labor market. It is extremely important that the education we provide to the students is relevant and responsive to the new developments and technologies. Finally, we face the need to build better online and physical services to support the lifelong learning, to provide people with opportunities for quality and upskilling. And this we are also learning from Singapore and from the SkillsFuture movement that Singapore has so successfully put up in the recent years. We have had several delegations here during the past months to look at how you have successfully been doing it. And I think this is a great exchange both ways, because we do have the common challenges. Then the prevention of growing inequality, which is a common concern in both of our countries and in many of yours most likely as well. From the viewpoint of education policy, the transition of working life is perhaps the greatest challenge for our societies. There is no single, simple solution, but care must be taken to ensure that everyone has prospects for a good life and active participation. As artificial intelligence is adopted across industries, there is a danger that the added productivity and its benefits will not be distributed equally. The less skilled, the less competitive individuals could become increasingly marginalized in the job market. We have to find very agile ways of reskilling large groups of people. Another point of view is the way in which children and young people grow into full members of the community. In Finland, we are increasingly concerned about the low interest in politics and participation in decision-making among young people. And the recent elections actually showed the contrary, that the younger people they have a common concern about the challenges that are facing our planet, and this we see in also like raising like more younger voters in our recent parliamentary elections, but mostly voting for the Green Party and for the parties that really like take the climate change and the issues of common concern very seriously. Active citizenship is therefore one of the drivers behind developing future schools in Finland. The future school needs a new kind of operating culture. Pupils must be genuinely encouraged to participate in the common decision making. Pupils' opinions must affect schools' everyday activities. Adults must listen to children and young people and ensure that their opinions are taken into consideration when decisions concerning the school community are being made. Trust builds trust and increases the social capital of the community. And finally, recently we were very happy to receive the news that Finland is perceived to have one of the most future-ready education systems by the Economist Intelligence Unit. It is largely due to the fact that our education policy is effective. We are committed to continuous development and reforms. Our teacher education is high-performing and the socio-economic environment supports equal opportunities. However, we must continue to develop and transform because the rankings are indicators of the past. We are working to develop the education system on all levels and profoundly, not only by looking at the digital education solutions and the technology available. We are happy to share our experiments and experiences, but also look forward to learning from others, from successes and from failures. As we know, most of our challenges today are not limited to nations, but they are global. We must therefore work together to solve our wicked problems, pool the best resources and solutions, and be future ready together. Thank you.